Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are visiting the Valk Windmill Museum, one of the oldest windmills here. We will be able to see the entire windmill and learn about its history. There were once 19 windmills built on the city walls of Leiden, but only the Valk is still standing today. The present mill has had two predecessors. In 1611, the post mill, the Valk, was built upon the Valkenburger bulwark and later made a way for a wooden tower mill in 1667. In 1743, the city council granted permission for the construction of an even taller tower mill, but this time made of stone. This is the current 29-meter high mill known as the Valk, the body of which took only 3 months to build. The mill used no fewer than 4 millstones, which provided considerable capacity. As a result of the depopulation of Leiden and the introduction of motorized grinding equipment, the mill found themselves in an increasingly vulnerable position at the end of the 19th century, when many were dismantled. Their work, however, continued to produce flour until well into the 20th century, although this was not powered by wind during the final years. So now we are about to enter the museum. The entrance fees is €6 per person, which grants us access to the entire windmill. The ground floor of the windmill is set up just like a house, complete with a bedroom, kitchen, living room and more. As we explore, we will also find several additional floors, each offering unique exhibits and insights into the windmill's history and operations. So now let's learn more about the history. On 12th May 1940, the Valk mill was established as an observation post by the Dutch military, but the capitulation followed only 2 days later. The mill was fired upon from the air during the preceding wartime hostilities, leaving bullet holes in the cap and in the walls. The mill was in a deplorable state after the war, but the local council fortunately recognized its cultural historical importance and funded a thorough restoration in 1947. With the exception of William van Rijn and both of his sisters, all the people that had taken residence in the mill over the years were eventually forced to leave due to the risk of fire. The mill was regularly visited by tourists even before the war, although it did not have museum status at that time. The last miller kept a guest book in which the oldest signatures date back to 1930. He took great pleasure in showing visitors around, foreigners in particular, and was delighted to be able to chat with them. He also enjoyed talking to the students who rented rooms in the mill during the 1950s and 1960s. The rent of the rooms was inexpensive, but every morning they were obliged to have breakfast with the old miller. On 2nd June 1966, the Valk became a municipal museum following the death of the last miller William in 1964 at the age of 87. Alongside the Van Rijn collection, the basis of the exhibition was formed by a large collection of objects used in milling. As I mentioned earlier, there were once many windmills in Leiden. However, over time the number of windmills has decreased. Here we can select different years to see where the windmills were located and how many existed during each period. As the year progresses, we can observe the decline in number of windmills.